Everyone has an opinion about Naomi Osaka, the amazing, famed tennis player that has just withdrawn from the French Open. Everybody has an opinion about that. Some people say, I really support her. She's pulled out for mental health reasons. That's important, but I wish she would have done it a different way. Some people say, she shouldn't have withdrawn at all. Doesn't she know she has anxiety and depression? She should have dealt with this beforehand, etc. Some people might be indifferent. Look, there's a lot of opinions going on. But as a physician, I'm going to discuss 3 things that we should all take from what Naomi Osaka has just done and been through. 3 things that you probably have not thought about. Just to recap, by the way, guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. I'm a practicing family physician, an on-air health expert, and a video creator. By the way, I see a lot of patients with anxiety and depression. And by the way, something I've never really talked about myself is I deal with anxiety myself. I think anyone who knows me is not surprised by that. Anxiety, depression, other mental health stuff, by the way, is super, super common. And especially after this crazy year of a pandemic that we've had, I know very few people that have not been touched by anxiety, depression, etc. But let's get back to Naomi, okay? So just to recap what the situation is, she has withdrawn from competing in the French Open. Through some statements she made on social media, she explained that she suffers from depression and social anxiety, and also that before speaking to media after the matches, she often gets huge waves of anxiety. This is the thing. Let's talk about the first thing that we should all learn from Naomi. And by the way, this one thing is being talked about all over. So make sure you watch to the end because I've got the other 2 things which you probably haven't heard of. But the first thing, and people are right about this, is they're saying, well, you know what? She's to be praised for looking out for her mental health. Let's just say it loud for those in the back. She should be praised for looking out for her mental health. What she's really saying is, look, I'm just really not able to do this right now because of these particular reasons and these things that I'm struggling with. There's not tremendous amounts of detail in the explanation she's given. And once again, people do argue that she's not doing it the right way. And by the way, I'm going to make a comment about that. But let's just get to the point, which is that she needs to be applauded for standing up for herself, for looking out for herself, for advocating for her own self-care. How many times do we put ourselves second or last or behind other people, whether it's our family, our friends, our coworkers, etc.? How many times does that happen? And does that help anyone? Well, many of us would argue no. So I think one important lesson, which has been widely talked about and appropriately so, is, hey, we can learn from Naomi this importance of standing up for yourself, showing up for yourself. Showing up for yourself in ways that you're looking out for what you need and what's going to be important for you. And her mental health is important. Now, let me make a quick statement about people saying, well, she should have done this a different way. She should have gone about it a different way. Look, I'm a doctor. I am a family doctor in New Jersey who practices in New Jersey. I know nothing about the tennis federation and the leagues and this and that. So I'm going to stay in my lane, okay? I can't speak to how this can be done. What I can speak to as a doctor is how anxiety, depression, social anxiety, etc. works, which is that it's not always predictable. It doesn't always come on demand. It doesn't always come as predicted. It doesn't always come when we expect it. It doesn't always stay away when we need it to. So, look, that's my little 2 cents. I can't speak to how she should have done this, what she did, how she should, whatever. What I can say, though, is anxiety can be a bee fill in the blank. And it can catch you off guard, and it can change your world in a moment. And it's not necessarily in your control. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about the second thing that we can really learn from Naomi Osaka, right? And this is something that no one really that I've seen is really talking about this. And I need us all to internalize this, okay? And that is, it takes guts to stand up for what's right or what's important to you. And you know what? She was kind of damned if she did, damned if she didn't, right? Okay? Because if she went ahead with the press releases, it sounds like, based on what she's written, she would have been in tremendous agony, very anxious, very depressed, or what have you, right? So terrible. But standing up for herself is not necessarily any easier. I mean, one might say, oh, she's taking the easier way out. You call this the easy way out? Where the whole world is literally judging you? Not only that, but they know your medical history. I mean, first of all, most of us have medical histories that other people are not privy to know or don't know, or that we don't feel like we have to explain. But not her. She felt like she needed to explain what's going on in her life and with her health to justify the decision she made. So in no way is this decision that she made an easy one. In fact, I would argue that in some situations it's actually tougher than perhaps even going through with the interviews for some people. For some people, going through with those interviews would have been far easier and far greater, an option for them than dealing with the backlash, the scrutiny, the criticism, the name calling. People are calling her a spoiled brat, this or that. Some people are saying, we applaud you, we stand with you, whatever it is people believe. She is dealing with it. So the second thing I want to remind us of, and actually sort of call out with what Naomi has done, and she has long advocated for human rights, for victims of police brutality and unfair injustice. Right? We have seen her advocate for this. It's not easy standing up for what you think. It's not easy ever, whether you're calling out a coworker for a racist thing that they're saying or doing, or you're making a statement about something that you see that's xenophobic or ageist or that's sexist. Anytime we speak out, anytime that we stand up for stuff, it is freaking hard. And I know, she deserves a lot of credit for that. And there are a lot of lessons in that we can all learn. Maybe we all need to be standing up more for things that we know are important to us or are right in the world. The third and final thing that I want to mention that I'm not seeing talked about, that as a doctor I need to call out that she's doing, which is amazing, is, look, she's bringing awareness to an issue that we wouldn't have known if she didn't choose to tell us. And I know that there are many stars and celebrities that over the years have welcomed us into their lives and also shared what they're going through. But I don't know that these celebrities and people that are well known really understand the positive impact that can have on so many other people. It's almost as though their pain and suffering, the rest of us gets to sort of benefit from, in the sense that the rest of us are reminded that we're not alone. The rest of us are reminded that, whether you're a celebrity or not, whether you're a world famous tennis player, whether you're a Kardashian or DMX or whomever I've made videos about this year alone, about health issues and things they're going through, it reminds us that people are people. And it also reminds us to not feel shame with whatever we are going through. Because after all, we are just mere mortals. We are just people. That's it. And so I want to thank Naomi for reminding us of that and to maybe making it okay for other athletes who deal with anxiety, depression, social anxiety, what have you, because she's not the only one. Michael Phelps has been very, very vocal about mental illness and how he's been dealing with it, and others have too. But she's not the only one. And maybe, just maybe, she is carving a path and making a way for other athletes and non-athletes to be a little bit more okay with saying, I've dealt with that too. I think she's actually made it easier for me. This was the first time I ever said that I deal with anxiety. I don't know why I hadn't. You just sort of feel a little bit like, embarrassed, shamed. You don't want to admit it. You wish you didn't have it. But you know what? If she can say it, so can I. And that's okay. So guys, there's a lot to learn from Naomi, regardless of whether you agree or not. There's a lot that she has done brilliantly just by being her. Just by being. She is changing the game, no pun intended. She is changing our world. So for that, Naomi, I thank you. Guys, I hope this is helpful. Share this video with other people because I know other people need to hear it just like we probably do. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do and click the little bell for updates. Guys, I'll see you soon.